Hey, you. Yeah, you. What do you know about the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the OBBBA? Let me tell you something. This ain't just a regular old bill. This thing, well, it's the crown jewel of the current U.S. president's second-term agenda. And you're probably wondering, what's all this hoopla about? Why the rush to get it signed by July 4th? Who is behind this thing? And how does it even affect me? Let me tell you, this piece of legislation is reaching out and touching everything and everybody. And today, we're cracking it wide open. Chapter 1. What was the purpose and the process behind the OBBBA? Why introduce the bill? Simple. It was the current U.S. administration's master plan to reshape and jumpstart the economy and leave a mark in a big way. Think of it like a downtown community revitalization project, but for the whole country. What's inside? Big tax cuts for families, businesses, you name it. More cash, more spending, more growth. It makes those 2017 tax cuts under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, TCJA, permanent. Ditch the red tape. Less regulation, more room for businesses to breathe, grow, and invest. Bring jobs home. Tax breaks and bonuses for making stuff in the USA. Cut government fat. Trim down government programs. Tighten the belt. Say it'll save money later. Spend now, so it'll pay off in the long run. Stage 1, House action and vote. All right, here's how the OBBBA got moving. May 18th, 2025, the U.S. House of Representatives Budget Committee squeaks it through with a 17-16 vote. Real nail-biter. May 20th, Rep. Jody Arrington, Texas Republican, brings the bill to the big stage, the full House. May 22nd, the main event. Full House vote, 215 to 214 to 1. One Republican's missing, and it still clears by a hair. That's it. The One Big Beautiful Bill is packing its bags. Next stop, the U.S. Senate. Stage 2, Senate Parliamentarian Review. Enter Elizabeth McDonough. She don't vote. She don't campaign. But when she talks, the Senate listens. Why? She's the Senate parliamentarian, the rules ref since 2012. Her job? Enforce the Byrd Rule, which says, stick to budget stuff. No funny business. If it ain't about spending or taxes, it needs 60 votes, not 51. So from June 20th to 27th, McDonough looked at parts of the OBBB and said, nope, policy plays, 60 votes or get lost. Senate Republicans saw the roadblock. They didn't love it, but they took the hit. That's the game. Stage 3, Senate passage and vote-a-rama. June 28th to June 30th, 2025, the U.S. Senate held a vote-a-rama, a marathon weekend voting session with nearly 45 amendment votes to placate holdouts and get them to play ball. Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat from the state of New York, led procedural delays, including a 15-hour reading of the full bill to spotlight the controversial elements and tank momentum. July 1st, 2025, the Senate passed the bill 5150, with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance breaking the tie. Stage 4, House final passage. All right, after the Senate took their swing, the House came back July 3rd to seal the deal. Final vote, 218 to 214. Tight, but enough. The One Big Beautiful Bill, she's passed, headed straight to the big guy's desk, President Donald J. Trump. Stage 5, Presidential signature. July 4th, 2025, South Lawn, White House, flags waving, President Donald J. Trump signs the One Big Beautiful Bill into law. Boom, done deal. And as if that wasn't dramatic enough, fireworks light up the sky. Independence Day, baby. Big bill, big moment, and big finish. Stars, stripes, and legislation. Feeling a little smarter already? Or maybe you're just impressed a law called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act ain't about cosmetic surgery. Either way, don't let this be a one-time thing. Subscribe to Capiche 001, where complex topics make perfect sense. We break down the big stuff with little street smarts and a whole lot of clarity. All right, grab a snack, stretch your legs. Yeah, we're rolling into Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Personal Accounts. There's a new playbook for the American dream, and it starts the day you're born. This is part 1 of the One Big Beautiful Bill, and today, we're talking money that grows with you. Number 1, Trump accounts for the kids. So here's the deal. Every kid born in the U.S. from 2025 to 2028, boom, automatic $1,000 in a personal account. No paperwork, no drama. Families can toss in up to $5,000 a year. Tax deferred, which means the money grows without Uncle Sam taking a bite right away. And what can the kid do with it down the road? 3 things. Pay for school, buy a house, or roll it into a Roth IRA by age 30. It's like planting a money tree. You won't see fruit tomorrow, but hey, give it time. Next up, NALA. That's short for New American Learning Account. It's like a 529 plan, but with actual flexibility. You put in up to $5,000 a year, tax-free, and you can use it for more than just college. I mean, we're talking trade schools, coding boot camps, and apprenticeships. You hit 30 and didn't use it? Roll it into a Roth IRA. No penalty, no guilt. And it ain't just for kids. Anyone 14 and up can get one. So if your cousin Vinny decides to become a plumber at 35, NALA's got his back. Last one, health savings accounts, or HSAs. Used to be a pain unless you had one of those high deductible plans. Now, the limit's just doubled. $7,500 if you're solo, $15,000 if you got a crew. More folks qualify, including part-timers and bronze plan holders. You even get a $500 refundable tax credit just for having one. Oh, and now it plays nice with FSAs, flexible spending accounts too. Translation? It's like finally getting a nice big round table at your favorite trattoria. Room to breathe and plan for the stuff that matters. Chapter 3, the OBBBA Personal Tax Shakeup. All right, listen close. Now, we're talking taxes, so here's what's new. Short, sweet, and no sugarcoating. Number 1, standard deduction, bigger slice of the pie. Before, $12,700 for joint filers and $6,350 for singles. Now, $27,700 joint and $13,850 single. And it's indexed to inflation. So this deduction grows like my nono's tomato vines. Number 2, child tax credit. More dough, more dependable. It's forever. Used to be $2,000 a kid, only $1,400 refundable. Now, $2,200 per kid and fully refundable. That means even if you don't owe a dime when you file, you still get the full credit. Lock that in, because the OBBBA makes it permanent too. Number 3, SALT, state and local tax deduction. SALT breaks stay. SALT deductions used to be capped at $10,000 between 2017 to 2025. Big help, right? Not. Now, starting January 1st, 2026, you can deduct up to $40,000 in SALT taxes through 2029 only. Big win if you're in a high tax scheme. I mean state, like Jersey, Cali, or New York. Number 4, tip and overtime deductions. Finally, some respect. From 2025 through 2028, tips deduct up to $25,000 single or $50,000 joint. Overtime, deduct up to $12.5K or $25K. IRS will sort out the fine print soon, but the idea is simple. Work more, keep more. The OBBBA says no way to full tax on tips and overtime. Number 5, senior deduction. A little extra for the golden years. If you're 65 plus, you get an extra $6,000 on top of the standard deduction, but it phases out if you're making over $75K single or $150K joint. Chapter 4, Business Taxes, OBBBA Style. All right, Let's get into the business end of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the OBBBA. You run a business? Freelance? Got a side hustle? This one's for you. No spin, just the new tax facts. QBI deduction, locked in. If you're an LLC, S-Corp, or solo operator, you've been getting that 20% qualified business income, QBI deduction. It was set to expire in 2025. OBBBA made it permanent. You keep it. End of story. Corporate tax rate, dropping. C-Corp folks, you were paying 21%. That drops to 15% starting in 2025. That's 6 points off the top. Real savings if you're dealing in volume. Bonus depreciation in Section 179. Full write-offs. You buy gear, software, vehicles, you can still fully expense it right away. That's now permanent. Helps big biz and mom and pop shops alike. R&D plus chip credits. Innovation pays. Still got R&D, research and development credit, plus new boosts. Up to 35% off for semiconductor production. So, if you're building tech or AI gear, your tax bill just got lighter. GILTI out, NCTI in. They swapped out that messy foreign income rule, GILTI, Global Intangible Low Taxed Income, for a new one called NCTI, Net CFC Tested Income. It's simple. If you got overseas ops, read up. But the idea's clean it up, tax it right. 1099 threshold, more wiggle room. It used to be make $600 on apps like PayPal and boom, you got a 1099. Now it's $1,000. Less paperwork and more room for side gigs. QSBS, qualified small business stock, startup wins. If you held small biz stock for 5+ years, you could skip tax on half the gains. OBBBA expanded that. More room for founders to win when they cash out. Interest deductions, loosened up. Got business debt? Good news. OBBBA loosened the cap on interest deductions. More room to borrow smart. Chapter 5, Social Programs. What changed under the OBBBA? Medicaid. New rules, big cuts. Before, states had wiggle room. Now, OBBBA drops $1 trillion in cuts over the next 10 years, from 2025 through 2034. New Deal. Mandatory work requirements, 80 hours per month of work, job training, or community service. These requirements are only applicable for able-bodied adults between 19 to 55 years old. Monthly copays, caps on home value and other assets, tight eligibility checks. And no more federal Medicaid funds for Planned Parenthood. This ain't minor. It's a total rewrite to force states to ensure eligibility requirements are met and cut waste. SNAP, stricter and smaller. SNAP, aka food stamps, also tightened up. That old flexibility thing called BBCE, broad-based categorical eligibility, used to be some states. Gone. Gotta work 30 hours a week or be in job training. Stricter asset rules. Reapply every 3 months, and states pick up more of the admin tab. Miss a step? You're out. Rural Health Fund. Apply if you want it. OBBBA puts up $50 billion for rural health care, spread out from 2026 to 2031. But here's the catch. States got to apply for it, and it's handed out through competitive grants. So yeah, it's there, but you gotta hustle for it. Provider taxes and FMAP. Quiet but costly. States used to tax healthcare providers and flip that into more federal Medicaid funding. Now, caps on that tax are frozen in place, especially for states that expanded Medicaid. And FMAP, Federal Medical Assistance Percentage, the federal match rate, is cut for services to folks without verified immigration status. Pell grants, now cover job training. This one actually expands use and applicability. Starting July 2026, Pell grants can be used for short-term training programs, 8 to 15 weeks. So if you want to learn HVAC, welding, IT, or coding, you might get help, degree or no degree. Chapter 6, Defense and Homeland, where the big bucks go in the OBBBA. Department of Defense, still king of the castle, already sitting on $842 billion a year, and now OBBBA tosses in another $150 billion just for 2025. That's an 18% jump. Here's the 2025 breakdown. $24.4 billion, space missiles and ground defense. $29.2 billion, new subs and shipyards. $8.6 billion, aircraft upgrades, jets, drones, and transports. $14.7 billion, nukes and the new B-21 stealth bomber. $16 billion, AI and unmanned aerial systems. You know, the sci-fi stuff. $380 million, updating financial systems. Yeah, even the military needs a better spreadsheet. $1 billion, for deploying troops to help at the border. $10 million, for oversight, so no one's cooking the books. This ain't just adding gear, it's modernizing the whole playbook. Department of Homeland Security, border buildup. DHS is getting $165 billion over 10 years, so $16.5 billion a year. Big focus, immigration enforcement. Let's talk ICE. Used to run on $10 billion a year, now climbing to over $100 billion by 2029. Hiring 10,000 new agents, building 100,000 detention beds. Like opening a chain of hotels where you can't check out. CBP, barriers, boots, and Big Brother tech. Customs and Border Protection gets $46.5 billion for border barriers, walls, and fencing through 2029. $5 billion to repair and expand border facilities. $7.8 billion to hire more agents. $6.2 billion for tech, AI sensors, drones, night vision, motion detectors. It's like a security system on steroids. Immigration courts, boosted but capped. $3.3 billion to expand immigration courts, capped at 800 judges by 2028. So yeah, more resources, but not an endless supply. Chapter 7, Energy, Farming, Housing, and more. Agriculture, more security for the soil folks. Farmers, you're getting extended coverage on your safety nets. ARC, agricultural risk coverage, and PLC, price loss coverage, now run through 2031 with reference prices up 11 to 21%. ARC covers up to 90% of benchmark revenue, and PLC's got a built-in price bump feature. $59 billion goes into crop insurance and disaster aid, with $2.8 billion in USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture relief. Bonus, flexibility to switch between ARC and PLC yearly, starting 2025. No more pick one and pray. And for the smaller ag operations, $6.6 billion for trade promotion, rural broadband, minority farmers, and innovation. This ain't just corn and soybeans. Fruit, flowers, exports, covered. Energy and infrastructure. Clean, coal and connection. Clean energy tax credits phased out by 2027 with stricter Made in USA rules. That's $499 billion back to the government. The FCC's Federal Communications Commission auctioning off radio spectrum. Expect $85 billion from that. New 2.5% tax credit for U.S. metallurgical coal used in steelmaking, not your backyard grill. Low-income housing tax credit expansion equals up to 1.22 million new rental units between 2026 and 2035. Finance, justice, and protection, trimmed and tuned. CFPBs, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau budget got chopped in half. Less enforcement, slower ops. Radiation compensation expanded, now includes more nuclear test victims, uranium miners, and atomic vets. So there you have it, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. From blueprint to big finish. It started as a bold idea to remake the economy, shrink the government waistline, and give folks a little more room to breathe. But it didn't just walk into law. It clawed its way through committees, parliamentarian hurdles, all-night vote marathons, and some real political theater. And by the time it hit the South Lawn on July 4th, boom, signed, sealed, delivered. with fireworks in the sky and history in the making. Now, whether you love it, hate it, or you're still scratching your head, one thing's for sure, the OBBBA ain't small potatoes. It's a reshaping of the rules, from your wallet to the White House. You made it through. You're officially smarter than you were 20 minutes ago. So what are you waiting for? Hit that like button, drop a comment about your favorite tax cut, share this video, and subscribe to Capiche 001, where complex topics make perfect sense. More plain talking, brain-boosting videos coming your way. Capiche?